Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Patricia Monna, Intuitive Consulting. Today we have the lovely Susan Reynolds with me for our monthly check-in on the psychic and astrological things that are going to be taking place in August and give you guys a heads up on what to expect for the month ahead. So thank you, Susan, so much for joining me again.
My pleasure. I love being here because we come at our information from two different ways, but somehow it always meets in the middle.
Absolutely. And just like we were saying before we clicked record, the energy, my God. You're saying, okay, so it's Mercury retrograde right now. And I know that we're going into Leo, the month of Leo, right? So that's when the lion tends to roar. And you know what's interesting? The Lionsgate portal, which is on August 8th, I do feel the energy of that every year. There's a part of me that actually looks forward to the Lionsgate portal because I do see it as a time to be able to level up or to acclimate to that higher energy that's coming in, as long as you're in the right energy to do that. Because the thing is that energy is neither good nor bad. It's defined by each person. And so if you're sitting and dwelling in the negativity, that's what you're going to manifest. However, if you know how to be able to maintain your vibrational frequency and your happiness and your joy, it can be an amazing time of amplification of that energy. However, what have you been experiencing over this Mercury retrograde as we go into Leo?
Before we started talking, Patricia, before we started talking publicly, Patricia and I were catching up. And both of us have had a challenging period of time with this retrograde Mercury in Leo. It was in Leo all last month in July. It will be in Leo all this month in August. It has been retrograde for a couple of weeks. It will turn direct on August 11th. So as we begin August, it is still retrograde. This particular Mercury in Leo retrograde seems to be hitting people much, much harder than usual. I told Patricia in the space of 1 week, let's see, I had my bank made an $8,400 mistake in my savings account, which thankfully we were able to fix. But there's a few hours at the bank settling that. I got hacked in my Facebook account. We had to report that, change my password, let everybody know. I had friends show up for a dinner invitation on Monday instead of Tuesday. So I was there with my hair in a ponytail and slippers on, and we made that work. I had a problem with my Zoom. I had a problem with my email. I have been on the phone with the help desk more this week than I have the entire year. And I would love to say that I have just sailed through all these pesky little problems with a wonderful attitude full of love and light, but that has not been the case.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Susan.
That has not been the case. I have used the F word this week, which I do not usually use.
It's a good word to use when you need it. It really is. And it does. It felt like a week full of static and just one thing after the other. Like even I was supposed to be on vacation this past week, and I cannot believe how many clients were calling in a total state of crisis. And so there is definitely an energy to this. And I must say, Susan and I tried to warn you guys last month about what the energy of July would be like. And I got a little bit of guff from that, Susan, for where people in the comment section were saying, "Oh, Patricia, you're sounding so negative. Why are your predictions so negative?" And it's like, no, wouldn't you rather hear the truth? Like when I do a reading with a person, I tell them everything that I see. If spirit is showing me something, I meant to say it or it wouldn't be shown to me. That's the way I see it. Good, bad, and ugly. And all of it, because I've even literally saved people's lives telling them, "Oh, you've got a mole on your back shoulder that really needs to get checked." It sounds negative when you're giving that kind of information, but in the end, wouldn't you rather have the heads up, instead of, walking around with melanoma and you don't know it? I would rather know. So that's what in this channel, Susan and I, when we come together, we're going to tell you what we see. And if it sounds negative to you, forgive me. We're not trying to ever put out any negative energy, but life happens, the good, the bad, the ugly. So if we're going into a staticky period where it's going to be unrest and pain in the ass things left, right, and center, wouldn't you guys rather know? So for the month of July, we were trying to give you guys a heads up on the weather that was coming down the pipes, um, and the energy of what we were stepping into. And I don't think that we're through it yet, because when I tune into the month of August, it feels just as powerful. Now, remember what I said, you guys. Energy is neither good nor bad. It's defined by the person who's experiencing it, right? It could be the best thing that ever happened to me, it could be the worst thing that ever happened to someone else. So it's all relative, and it's going to show up in different ways for each and every person. But yet the energy, the sensation, the feeling, the staticky energy of things not going easy, that's out there. And so we should be aware of it and know what's coming down the pipes.
When I'm reading for a client, and sometimes, and you know what this feels like, Patricia, I'm getting information and I'm trying to figure out how to translate the information I'm getting into something in English that another person can understand. And so sometimes I'll just be like, well, what like I'm definitely hesitating and trying to figure out the right way to language this. And almost invariably, my clients will say, just tell me the truth. I just want to know.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, it's not that. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm just trying to figure out what that truth is in English rather than what it is in intuitive language. So this past July 6th, I did, and I don't usually do this, it was very spontaneous. I did a mid-year predictions talk.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't intend to do it because I usually do a talk, and this year, Patricia and I did a talk in January. It's one and done for the year. Bye-bye. You know. But my guides started coming in and they're like, Susan, you need to do a mid-year talk. And really? So as I started to go into meditation, I was like, okay, because as I say many times, my life has never gotten better by ignoring my guides' advice. If your guides are coming and telling you something, chances are there's a reason for that.
Mhm.
So I said, okay, I'll suck it up and I'll tell them whatever you want me to tell them. So on July 6th, I did a reading. It was a talk about an hour, hour and a half, something like that. Very inexpensive, $20. I'm just doing this for my guys, kind of thing. Like, there, are you satisfied? Kind of thing. But one of the things that I said in that talk was that July and August were going to be challenging months. July and August are going to be particularly difficult between the geographical stuff happening, the political stuff happening, the emotional stuff happening, the mental stuff happening. It's going to be a challenging month. Will it be challenging for every single person? No. Some people might go, hot diggity. What are they talking about? But for the majority of the people, this is going to be a challenging 8-week period. Now, what I said in my talk was that starting in September and between September and December, I do see the energy shifting and it starts to get easier.
Mhm.
But it still gives us another 4 weeks. Now, Patricia, I know you said you saw a shift in the energy
Yeah.
towards the end of the year, but you saw a little bit differently.
I saw it happening in September. I saw the energy starting to lift, but the thing is, it shifts. It doesn't, it feels like it takes on a different direction. So whatever the narrative is right now, the narrative changes, I think, on a global scale, not just on a North America scale. I think
Yeah.
that we're going to be hearing a lot more global news or things that will affect things on a global scale. But I felt like that was towards the end of the summer or September, October, November, like towards the end of the year. Because when I remote viewed 2025, the top half felt pretty easy. It was the bottom half that felt like, oh, okay, what am I looking at here? What do I need to pick through in the later months of 2025? So, and I mean, 2025 has been, God, quite the year already. Look at everything that's happened and the crazy weather that's been going on, and the floods and the fires, and and even last month I mentioned that I could feel the ground rumbling energetically. And if you look at the Schumann resonance, for example, the Schumann resonance sits at 7.83 hertz, and that's Mother Nature's heartbeat. That's when she is at a peaceful rest, when we're at 7.83 hertz. Well, that number has been going up and spiking through the charts over the last few weeks. And how we're going to feel it, think about it, we're walking on Mother Earth's skin. So, of course, anything and everything is going to feel it. So, if you've been feeling more anxiety or restless nights where you can't sleep, or same thing with body temperature, feeling your body temperature rise, that's a rise in energy on a physical scale, right? So you might be having more sweaty nights or having a hard time cooling your body temperature. All of those things are those subtle symptoms that people will experience when the Schumann resonance is on the rise. Well, she's birthing new pains, she's doing something, she's having a heart attack because that Schumann resonance has been spiking off the charts. And like I said, we're going to feel it in waves of anxiety or yeah, not being able to sleep. Our energy will feel rattled or messed with. So you guys, you're not going crazy if you've been waking up feeling weird or like there's something in your reality that has shifted, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Well, I kind of think that we are going through a how do I explain it? A big birthing of a brand new earth that's happening right now. People are waking up in mass, big time. But it's a matter of now all of us getting on the same wavelength so that we are creating the new earth that we have been brought here to create. I just anyways, I think that the energy that people are feeling, that restlessness, it's all happening right now globally to not just you and me, but I think everyone is feeling this. I really do.
I will say that I live in the United States in the South, and this week the heat index was 107.
Wow, thank
And
God.
they actually put hang on a minute. They actually put out an advisory for seniors and
Yeah.
for those who are weak or ill to stay home. Do not go out in this, do not run your errands. And um, it's been a particularly brutally hot summer, the hottest one I can remember. And this is just indicative of all the geographical stuff going on. When I think about August and September, my energy keeps going towards Italy. Like it goes towards Italy over here and Mount Rainier over there. Does Italy have volcanoes? Yeah, Mount Vesuvius. That's a volcano in Italy, right? I
Dude,
think we may see something like both of these areas hit with volcanic activity.
well, it's interesting that you say that because last month my husband and I we did a cruise, a Mediterranean cruise where we went to and Italy, Turkey, and Greece. And while our boat was out in the middle of the ocean, we actually were, I think I told you about it, we were over a 6.3 earthquake that was happening underneath us. And, it rocked me to sleep. No one really knew anything until I was contacted by a friend the next day. But I think that we are going to see a lot more earthquakes and volcanoes erupting in that area. And I picked it up as them going off in tandem, or it's almost like, okay, one goes off and then a day later another one's going off. Like it just feels like there is something that is so all connected that is getting ready to rumble. That's what it feels like to me. So I wouldn't doubt if something does happen in that area, if that is um, part of the
We're
volcano.
just it's like what you just said. We're seeing everything happening at the same time. The volcanoes and the hurricanes and the earthquakes and the tsunamis and it's lions and tigers and bears. Oh my, it's like all of it happening at the same time. And we can barely get through, oh, there was an earthquake over here, but oh, there's a tsunami over here. And so it's like boom, 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 boom. It just keeps hitting us one after the other. And when the earth is unsettled, our energy is unsettled.
Yes. Yes.
And this is what is happening. We don't feel solid. We don't feel secure.
Mhm.
Sometimes it almost feels like I'm waiting for something. And I've heard clients say that they also feel like they're waiting for something,
Mhm.
because this is building up. We are building towards change. And
Yeah.
it is uncomfortable. It is often uncomfortable. I don't know how to say that any other way.
Mhm.
So do what you need to do for you, whether that's meditating or going for a walk, if you're allowed outside, like, in the South, we're not, but if you're allowed outside, feel the earth under your feet, go boating on the lake, sit in bed and read a book. What sort of rebalances you?
Yes.
And for different signs, different things rebalance. I'm a Cancer sun sign, and I get in the kitchen and I cook. Well, not cook, I bake. And I start baking, cupcakes and cookies. And, I don't even want to eat this. I put it in the freezer. But it's what I do to help resettle myself. Some of the good news is that for most of this month, we have the sun in Leo. And Leo is all about being good to yourself.
Nice.
Leo is all about what makes me happy. So think about what brings you pleasure, what makes you happy, what brings a smile to your face.
Mhm.
Maybe it is spending time with the kids or the grandkids. Maybe it's, a little vacation up at the lake or the shore with the family. Leo is very creative. So even if you have no intention of doing anything professional with any creative energies, maybe do a pretend I'm going to write a chapter in that book I'm always talking about. Or maybe it might be, let me take a dance lesson and work off some of this energy, you
Mhm.
know, sing, I sing around the house and I am really bad. Like,
You
don't
haven't.
even open your mouth, Susan. Just move your lips. Bad. But when it's just me in the house, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
This is for you. I'm
Mhm.
not saying do anything irresponsible. Don't go to Vegas and blow the rent money, but do things that take a little time just to remind yourself life can be good. Stop and smell the roses. What makes me happy? Indulge yourself a little bit. Get a manicure, pedicure, get a reading, have a spa day, buy some fresh flowers for the house. These can be small things that have huge impact to
Mhm.
help you balance. Leo is very social, and we have Mercury and we have the sun in Leo. So reach out for your friends, reach out for your partner, reach out for the people who are important to you,
Mhm.
because this is not the time to shut yourself away in the house. We may feel like it, but sometimes I'll tell people it's a lonely time. You can be lonely at home or you can be lonely with other people.
Yeah, that's true.
This is the time to be lonely with other people.
Mhm.
Have lunch with a friend, plan a special romantic dinner for your spouse.
Mhm.
This is a time to engage with others because it pulls us out of ourselves. There can be a tendency to like mentally or emotionally obsess, like we get caught up in one thing, what about this? And then we can't seem to get past that.
Yeah.
So when we're around other people, it often helps us hit the reset button. And
Mhm.
in August, we may have to hit the reset button a couple of times.
I've noticed a lot of people making huge decisions in their life right now, whether it's quitting a job and completely changing careers or cancer diagnoses. Like, I can be honest, I've heard of now 8 cancer diagnoses in the past 2 weeks, and they're all young. They're all young people. So, yeah, that's not good. Absolutely not good. But the one friend that I was speaking with yesterday, I said to her, I go, I want you to look at this as a time to go within, really go deep, figure out why this is appearing in your life, what it represents to you, and how you can heal it on all of the levels of you, not just on a physical level. Because if we don't heal the what initially caused it, it'll come back. It's a lesson. It's a lesson in disguise, right? And I know so many people who have said, well, cancer was actually a gift to me because it made me really concentrate on what was important. It gave me more time with my family, and I learn to let the little things go. It can be a gift. It's all in how we view it. So for anyone who is facing that, go deep within. look at it as a time to heal yourself on so many different levels, to get to know yourself. Who are you? Why are you here? You know, what memory do you want to leave? What imprint do you want to leave on this earth? You know, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of really big things happening in people's lives right now. Like even breakups that you know, were solid relationships, and now they're having to learn, you know, independence all over again. It's just
Wow.
there's some big lessons for people, and I just think this energy will meet you where you're at, right?
Yes.
It will make you go within. That's what this time is really about. It's why are you here? What is this all for? And what are you creating in this life? What are you leaving behind, you know, for the next generation? I just think that people really need to go deep in this time right now. And if they do, if they decide to go ahead and walk that golden path, there are many rewards waiting for you. Peace, understanding, hope, and faith. They're all waiting at on the other side of fear, right? So
I'm going to suggest, if possible, because sometimes it's not possible. Life comes at us and we have to deal.
yeah.
But if it's possible, wait until after August 11th to make major decisions. Because Mercury retrograde has a terrible reputation. People, oh, Mercury is retrograde again. And that is because Mercury deals with our day to day life. There's a weird noise in the car. You know, our computer isn't working. Our Facebook page has a problem. Our phone needs an upgrade. We miss messages. Appointments get canceled. We you know have miscommunication. It's annoying. Most of the things that happen when Mercury is retrograde are not life altering. They're annoying,
Mm,
but it's sometimes a grain of sand in your shoe. It's
yeah.
the annoying thing that gets to you. You can handle the big stuff. All right, I'm here, but it's like, oh my God, if that telemarketer calls me one more time, I'm gonna slap him silly kind of thing. So we don't like having to double check everything, having to be on guard, having to put things in place. But Mercury retrograde is wonderful for something, Patricia, that you just said. It is a really good aspect for going within, because all
Mm,
of that energy that we typically deal with, going without, we're running here, we're doing this, we have appointments, we turn it within. That energy isn't going outside anymore. So if we spend even a little time asking inner questions, bringing a little energy there, we can have an aha moment down the road. So we tend to think, if I'm meditating today, I'm supposed to get an answer today. And
mm,
it does not work like that. We may meditate today, and 2 weeks later we get, oh, this is how I should handle that.
yeah.
So don't think, if you're not seeing lights or having visions or, you know, hearing sounds, that your meditation is not helping you
Mhm,
make good decisions.
mhm,
Think of the word redo. When Mercury is retrograde, we tend to redo things. We tend to do them again. We tend to have to go back and fix something that we were in a rush to do. You know, this is a very strong Leo energy. It's a fire energy. It wants to get out there and do. It doesn't want to have to stop and think about this. Well, can I put this off another 2 weeks? No, it wants to do it now. And we have all this Aries energy. You know, Saturn is in Aries, Neptune is in Aries. They're sitting right next to themselves like this.
mm,
And Aries is very impulsive. Aries wants to do it now. And so Saturn's not very happy being in Aries, because Saturn is the planet of planning, caution. Let's look at this. What's the plan? Aries is like, screw the plan. Let's go in. We'll figure it out later. You know?
yeah.
So we have energies that are not happy. They're not comfortable. And if the planets are not comfortable in the sky, guess what? We're not comfortable in our body. It's like a push pull. I want to do this. Oh, I ran into a roadblock. Oh, well, maybe I could do it this way. No, that didn't work. And we start to get frustrated, and we start to question ourselves. You know, why aren't my guides talking to me? You know, why is God punishing me? Why isn't this working out? It's not you, and you're not doing anything wrong. It's just the way this energy is happening. It's like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. You're
Mhm,
making progress, but not the smooth, easy glide that we would like. You know, it's a little jerky, it's a little bumpy. We also have Neptune in this mix. Neptune is about our ideals, our visions, our dreams, our fantasies. But Saturn is all about reality. So these two planets may be next to each other, but they have nothing in common.
Interesting.
Saturn wants to make a plan and make it happen. Neptune is like, well, let's meditate on it. Love and light. We'll just bring love and light into the picture. It'll be fine. So it can be confusing, especially around your career, because Saturn rules our career and Neptune is confusion and fantasy. Should I take this job? Should I not take this job? Is this the right path for me? We don't have the clear path and the clear answers that we want. Again, more frustration. Doesn't mean you're doing it wrong, but it does mean you may see things move slower
Mhm.
than what you would like. And I know as humans, it is hard for us to accept that. But I will tell you from experience, when I am fighting with the planets, I do not usually win. I will just put it like that. I
Well,
have to make peace with them instead of the other way around.
it's hilarious. Well, that fiery energy is still around us. It is, and we're seeing it manifested in literally in wildfires and what's going on, even politically. It just feels very triggered and fiery. And so my other piece of advice to everyone who's watching this is take a step back. Do not get sucked in to other people's drama. Step away from the gossip, step away from anything that can drag you into a compromising situation. And like I've said before, if you don't live a life that you need to lie about, you're not going to have to lie. So I live by that every day. I try to live by that, make sure I'm not in situations that I ever have to lie or be just distruthful about, simply because what goes around comes around, and it's whipping around. It is whipping around. Karma has gone like that again.
Carmen's driving the bus.
It is. It really, really, really is. And that's the other thing that I've noticed. Like, it's interesting because in different weeks when I do readings, I'll notice I'll have theme days where it's like everyone's divorced that day and they want to talk about that. Or the next one is they have a deceased mom and all of them want to talk to their deceased mom that day. It's just interesting how, it'll kind of chunk. And
Yeah.
so even with this, like, just paying attention to what's happening in clients' lives and the energy that's going on out there, it doesn't feel clear right now. It still feels staticky and fiery. So don't get burnt. Don't get sucked into the fire is what I'm trying to say. Stay as neutral and out of it as you possibly can. Like you said, Susan, go get that good book, and take some time for yourself. Go have that nice hot bath with a glass of wine. Do you, not getting into anyone else's stuff, because you will get sucked in very easily. And the crappy thing is that even if you think sometimes you're helping, people like to shoot the messenger or turn it around, and that energy is out there right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone watching this says, oh, Patricia, that just happened to me. you know it's the energy, it's the theme, or the energy that's happening out there right now, and how we react to it is really the most important. So steer clear of the fire, you guys, because it still feels like it's fire season out there.
Leo is very dramatic.
Yeah, that
Think
makes
of
sense.
Madonna, J-Lo, they're not known for being shy and retiring. It's very dramatic. So we can get caught up and sucked into dramatic situations where like, how did I get stuck in this mess? Kind of thing. But I'll tell you something I like that is happening in August, and I'm excited about it. You know that we have Jupiter in Cancer, and Jupiter is known as the Great Beneficent because Jupiter often brings blessings and presents and new opportunities. So I love that word opportunity because if it's an opportunity, it gives us choice.
Yes.
We can say, oh, that's great. Or, no, thank you for asking. I'm not interested. But it's on us. We get to decide.
Yeah.
This month in August, we are going to have Venus also move into Cancer. And the two of them are going to be tied at the hip sitting together. Venus is known as the lesser beneficent. So the greater beneficent and the lesser beneficent are like, okay, let's team up and really bring some good vibes in here. Now, both of these planets are in the sign of Cancer. Cancer rules home and family. So
Mm.
if you have any family drama going on, not that you would in your family, I'm sure your family
Oh, we're
everybody
good.
gets along, but on the off chance that there's some people hearing this and their family isn't all love and light all the time, this is a great time for making peace. It's
Yeah.
a great time for getting along. It's a great time for mediation or being able to see somebody else's point of view. So it is a lovely, positive energy. It is also particularly fertile. That
Ah.
is a lot of Cancer energy. Cancer rules motherhood. So this is a very fertile energy. So if you are looking to get pregnant this year, August is a very nice month to work on that or look at that. However, if you are a teenager, I don't care how romantic the moment is.
Be smart. Yeah.
Be smart and go home. Yeah. It's a very lovely, peaceful, kind energy. It is around the home, it is around the family. Because it is around the home, it's a very good real estate energy this month in August. Great time to buy or sell, or you might luck into the right property on some deal, or it just happens at the right time is the best way to say that. Even if you are not buying or selling property, you're going to look around your house and you're going to say, I want to redecorate. Let's remodel the kitchen. I hate this bathroom. I don't want this tile anymore. It's not even here yet. And I was looking at my house this morning going, I need a new couch.
Want to hear something funny? I just had
What?
this conversation with my husband yesterday. Right down to the couch. I'm like, I want to get a new couch. I want the floors redone. I want my banisters redone. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you. Literally just had that conversation yesterday.
And I'm going to say, and I repeat this all the time, sensitive people tend to pick up energy earlier than when it's actually happening. This is usually happening like the first third of the month of August. It's when it's technically happening.
Mhm.
But many of you, just like Patricia and I, may notice this energy happening earlier. I started to make a list. Okay, I need a new mattress. I want a new dining room set. I hate this couch. I want a new couch. I'm like looking around. I'm redecorating my home in my mind. Doesn't mean I'm going to do it now. It means
Yeah.
I'm looking at it now. And
Mhm.
so this is a fun time to find a good deal on a couch for both of us. So
Right.
too bad we can't go shopping together. We're in two different countries. But it's a time when you may look around your home and want to make it more beautiful, more welcoming. And because that's what you want, you may actually welcome more people into your home. Maybe you offer to host somebody's anniversary or birthday celebration. And of course, if you're going to have company, you go all around your house, cleaning everything and shining everything bright and making good food and all the other lovely Cancerian energies. So, this is a really good time to enjoy being in your home. It's a good time to make it welcoming, beautiful, pleasant. When I talked about the fresh flowers, do you like being in your home? Do you like inviting people into your home? I'm a bit of a homebody and I do not entertain, but I'm looking at this going, maybe something may be going on here. So think about that because this is a very kind, very loving energy. But I'll also give you a heads up. Jupiter tends to increase things. Venus likes what's pretty and easy, and sometimes Venus can be a bit lazy, like peel me a grape kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they're both coming together, and neither one of these planets like discipline, and
Oh.
they're in the sign of Cancer.
Mhm.
So it is going to be an especially challenging time to lose weight or to be disciplined about giving up sugar or gluten or whatever it is. So
Interesting.
if you're on some kind of special diet or you've joined Weight Watchers or whatever it is, and you find yourself cheating, give yourself a break. You're swimming upstream on this one because Venus and Jupiter together, oh, it's fine. It's just a little ice cream. It's whispering in your ear. You got the angel and the devil on each
Yeah.
shoulder whispering in your ear. So it's going to be a little bit difficult to be disciplined. On the other hand, you may enjoy eating out much more than usual. Find yourself eating out, celebrating things, and enjoying that. So I'm really looking forward to Venus and Jupiter coming together. but we can impulsively buy that couch without thinking about it. So keep all your receipts for everything. Keep it for a few days and
Absolutely.
decide if this is what I really want, because this energy is lovely. It is lovely and it's very impulsive.
Well, and it's interesting that you say that about keep the receipts. Anybody in Calgary, or actually anybody and everybody should know this, always keep your receipts for major purchases such as couches, anything, because my son's apartment building flooded and he got hosed. He got barely nothing. Oh, what a mess that was. Um, because of receipts. So he didn't have certain receipts, and so they like to devalue everything right down to, you know what I mean, down to where they're paying nothing on the payout. So any big purchases, couches, beds, all of it. And Calgary flooded again. Calgary flooded while I was away on holidays. The streets were all flooded. My son's business was flooded. My building flooded. So yeah, it's bad out there. But yeah, so definitely keep receipts for everything, especially if you're in the flood zones or live in the Northeast, because for some reason there's this Northeast corner of our city that just gets nailed. Like it's been every year, I think for the past 4 or 5 years now, where it's been baseball size golf ball hails, where it's literally, it looks like gunshots, all on the siding of their house. And I know that there's quite a few houses that still aren't even fixed from last year, and then they just got flooded all the way up to the roofs of the cars.
Oh, wow. You're not talking about a couple inches. You're
Period.
talking about
Oh,
a
it was
home.
huge. It was a lot. Yeah. So if any of you guys are having to deal with insurance agencies and stuff, definitely keep all of your receipts, especially if you have to go and replace it. Keep it. Don't make the same mistake that my son did, because that's how they get
And
you.
as Mercury is retrograde, keep those receipts, because you buy your new dishwasher and it doesn't work, or this or that needs repairs and it shouldn't because you only had it a week. Keep those receipts. Now,
We
I
bought a
am going to say
Roomba.
right close to this, I'm sorry.
I was gonna say we bought a Roomba. It arrived yesterday.
Really?
Taking it out, it scratched the floor. It scratched. It
No.
went around and scratched my floor. So that thing's going back. So yes, I hear you on that. Sorry.
See,
Go on.
that's okay. I said that Mercury turns direct on August 11th. On August 9th, just before that, we have a full moon.
Oh,
Now,
so we
remember
have
what
a
I said.
Lionsgate portal on
Lionsgate is
the 8th.
on the 8th. Full
I know.
moon is on the 9th. Mercury turns direct on the 11th.
Oh,
So I'm
whoa.
going to tell you, boom, boom, boom. It's like
Yeah.
all coming together. So this full moon, with the sun being in Leo and the moon being in Aquarius, is going to really uh, be noticed around this Lionsgate energy. I happen to love Lionsgate energy, and I love it because it is so good for manifestation.
Mhm.
If you ever have struggled with manifestation or don't understand how it works or want to do something with it, Lionsgate energy is the time to do that.
Mhm.
And even in the days leading up to August 8th, like I would start around August 5th. And
Mhm.
then I would look at, 3 days after the 9th, which is the 12th. So really from the 5th to the 12th, we are in a heightened astrological period of energy. So instead of sitting around and feeling restless, people who are sensitive to energy often feel this coming in and they don't understand what's happening. So they just have trouble sleeping, or they're restless and they can't settle, or they, can't focus very well. But think about what you want to manifest. And it's a wonderful time to do that, to put energy into that. And so maybe I should do a class or something, or a talk about that. That might be nice, because people often don't know how to use this energy. And it's very powerful. And for me, I love it. I think it's very positive.
out of all of the out of all of the portal days, whatever you want to call it, I think the 8-8 portal is the best. I do find it the strongest energy. I always make sure to meditate on that day and to ask for what I want to bring in, and visualize myself receiving it. I visualize it as though it's already happened. So it gets you into the flow of that result that you want. But I will also say, going into the Lionsgate portal, because it's so powerful, make sure that you do your energetic reset on your own auric grid around your body. So, how to do that? Make yourself a nice warm bath and take a whole cup of Himalayan salt and a whole one of those little boxes of Arm& Hammer baking soda. Dump it in the tub and lay in there for as long as you can. Make sure that the temperature of the water actually goes to body temperature or room temperature before you get out. That's when you know everything's been transmuted off of you. And the first time I did that bath, when I stepped in, I literally felt like something shifted off of me, like something lifted off of me. And for any women out there with long hair, make sure that dunk under, get your hair under there as well, because hair is porous. And just like if you are going into a smoky bar, we'll say, your hair will come out smelling like it. Well, a bad day, a bad mood, all of it, believe it or not, sticks to your hair and your clothes. So put everything into the wash. Don't take a bad mood off and throw it on the floor, because if you think about it, if you have the crap scared out of you or you're in a bad mood, you know that energy that radiates off of you? Well, not only does it radiate off of you, it radiates through your clothes. How does it make it into your auric field? It's got to go through your clothes. So that's why sometimes when, you'll wear something twice and you hang it up and you go to put it on that second time, it's like, oh, this just doesn't feel as great as it did the first time I wore it. Wash it. The energy of that bad mood 6 months ago when you wore it could still be embedded literally into the material. So wash the bad mood off of your hair, off your clothes, and do an energetic reset with the salt bath and the baking soda. You'll feel it. You'll know when you know, you know. And I know if you guys have done that bath, you'll know what I'm talking about. You literally can feel yourself shift. So
I have done the baking soda bath and I have done the Himalayan sea salt bath, but I've never done them together.
you
I'm
got
going to
to do
do
it.
that.
Yeah, absolutely. And your skin will love you. Your hair will love you. If it's so soft afterwards, it's great. It really is. It's you actually can feel it peeling off you, or I know I did when the first time I went into it. So yeah, that's a great way to be able to reset on the 8th.
What I sometimes do in the days leading up to Lionsgate Portal is I will sort of like start down here and start to lift up the energy so it can peak on 8/8. And so many times I will take a bath with apple cider vinegar, because apple cider vinegar is very clearing and cleansing to the aura,
Yeah.
and each day I'll start to work on my manifestations. And as we get up to the 8th, I change the sheets on the bed.
Mm,
I change the clothes that I wear, and so I usually wear something white, something uplifting. These are all little signals
yeah.
you're giving your higher self. I'm ready to receive. I'm ready to work on this.
Yeah.
How would you decide to manifest? What are the little rituals you might do? This
Mhm.
is personal to whatever works for you, you know. But you might start looking at a couple of days before the 8th. And then, of course, we've got the 8th, we've got the 9th, we've got the 11th, boom, 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 lot going on there.
Yeah.
Now, if we fast forward a little bit towards the end of the month on August 23rd, we have a new moon in Virgo.
Okay.
And yeah, a new moon is when the sun and the moon are sitting right next to each other. They're in the same sign and they're sort of cozying up to each other. Like we get a double dose of that energy. And that's Virgo energy. So we're going to start to calm down a little bit by the end of August. We're going to start to notice this. Now, I don't remember his chart perfectly, but I do remember something about Mark Carney's chart when I was looking at it once, like, I don't know, maybe at the beginning of this year or something. And he has a lot of Pisces energy and a lot of Virgo energy, a lot of oppositions in his chart. So if you are a Pisces, if you are a Virgo, you may notice this new moon a little bit more strongly than most other people,
Mm.
because it's going to activate your chart a little bit more. Doesn't mean it's bad. I'm wondering if your prime minister will unroll some sort of new plan or something by late August, early September, because it could be triggering for him. And it doesn't mean in a bad way. When I say triggering, it can really trigger new ideas. new moon, new ideas, new beginnings, the start of things. We want to change things up. We want to move in a new direction. But I love this Virgo energy because Virgo is very down to earth. So some of that impulsive, oh, it's all going to work out, I'm not going to worry about it, energy is shifted away. And now we're in earth energy. Virgo is an earth sign. And earth says, okay, let me keep myself down to earth. Let me be grounded about this. Let me see what needs to be done. How do I put this plan together? Let me work on this, kind of thing. So, yeah, as we start to move into these Virgo energies, we have a wonderful opportunity right there at the tail end of August to start looking at, how do I make my dreams come true? How do I deal with this? How do I move forward in life? And it's something that we all ask regardless of our age.
Mm.
I'm a senior citizen. I'm an old lady now, and I'm still asking the same thing. How do I move forward? How do I do this? How do I improve my life? Because we can always do something that moves us into higher energy, that awakens something within us, that moves us forward in exciting ways when life may not always feel that comfortable.
You mentioned something that kind of triggered an aha moment that I had a couple weeks ago. Um, okay, so you said about being grounded at this time, right? And you also said that in the month of August it'll be harder for people to lose weight, right? So when I was meditating and thinking, okay, so how is the best way to gain the most nutrition depending on what I want to experience? So if I want more joy or sunshine in my life, is there a
Interesting.
way to eat the sunshine? Yes, there is. Spirit showed me. So listen to this. Listen to this. And I want you guys to try it and give me your feedback, okay? So what I heard was, okay, so if you want to be more up, we'll say you're depressed, right? Don't eat root vegetables. Don't eat the ground. Eat the sky, eat the sunshine, eat anything that the sunshine kisses that grows in the sun. So whether it's oranges, bananas, apples, cherries, tomatoes, all of the things that all day long are fed by the sun. Eat the sun. Now, if we need to be more grounded, we need to feel this and really put on that armor. Well, that and if you want to feel more grounded, that's when you eat the root vegetables, the potatoes, the carrots, the things that are grown underground. Um, Same thing with beef. Beef, it eats the ground. Bear with me. It eats the ground. So if you need to feel stronger, you need more iron, you need to feel grounded, eat beef. Eat the things that eat the ground, if that makes sense, right? Now you want to feel lighter and eat that sunshine. Chicken, birds. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. This is just what went through my head.
I have never thought about that before. I love this.
But it kind of makes sense, right? If you want more sunshine and that airy, just like you said about wearing the lighter colors, wear white, wear yellow. You want to be the sun. You want to feel electric and magnetic and have your auric field out like this. Wear yellow. Wear the bright pinks. Wear the whites. Wear the all of the colors that open up your auric field. Now there are also times where we want to go like this. We want to feel cloaked. We want to blend in. We don't want to be seen, or maybe we need to feel more grounded. That's when you wear the darker colors. Browns and greens and blacks and grays. Those are all very grounding colors, right? And I know that color has a frequency and frequencies help to heal. So it's all kind of connected, and I mean, I'd love to know your feedback on that. If you think I'm crazy, definitely let me know.
No, I love
But
this. I have never heard this before.
it's
But I
kind
will
of a
say,
download that I got. It was totally a download that I
I
received.
think it's a
I
great
was
idea. I think
like,
it's a great idea.
it makes sense. So if you're depressed and you need more dopamine and sunshine in your life, eat the sunshine. Don't eat the root vegetables. Don't eat the ground. Don't eat the stuff that will ground you. But if you need to be feeling protected, grounded, and strong, That's when the beef comes in. That's when the root vegetables come in, the potatoes, all of that. And like any nutritionists out there, let me know your thoughts on that because that was totally a download that I received. And the thing is that I used to be 210 pounds walking with a cane. And it was me learning to listen to spirit. I don't work out. I eat chocolate all day long. I'm just going to be honest, keeping it real, people. You know, but there are ways to get your body back into that healthy vibrational energy where your cells are listening in a positive way and working for you, not against you. Because at one point, my body was working against me. And I flipped the script on that. I flipped the switch. And it was learning to listen to spirit. And like I said, I don't diet. I have no willpower. I've never picked up a diet book. I can't stand salad. So I, I don't know. Little things like that though, that drop in, is like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that makes sense. If I want to up my immune system, my happiness, I'll reach for an orange, reach for a banana. Yeah.
I will say years ago, I was doing some sort of psychic event, and I was there from 9 in the morning until 6 in the evening. And I was booked solid, like bum, 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 client, 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 one right after the other. By the time I was leaving at 6 p.m., I couldn't have told you my name or what city or state I was in. You know what this is like, but
Totally.
you're toast. You were just out of your body, kind of thing. And I was driving home and I was like, I need some beef because I had to ground myself.
Yes.
And I stopped to get a burger. Before I even got home, I stopped to get a burger. Sometimes, grounding yourself is not necessarily a bad thing. We need that sometimes.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, in tough times when we want to lift up, I love what you were saying about eat the sun, eat the sunshine. I happen to have a love of homegrown tomatoes. I love them. And my cousin grows them, and today she gave me a bag full of homegrown tomatoes. So I am definitely going to be eating the sun for the next few days.
Yeah. Nice. Nice. Yeah, and bless it to your body. That's what I've also gotten into the habit of doing, is blessing it all to my body before I put it in my mouth, and away I go. I don't eat guilt. I don't eat shame. That stuff goes from the lips to the hips and adds 10 pounds very easily. So I'll only eat things that, you know, I would never give it a second thought about. I don't believe in feeling guilty about eating the chocolate cake. I won't eat it then, but yeah, it's all about balance. It really is. But I think that it's a neat concept, and I'd love to hear what other people think about
I'm
that.
going to share it around with other people. I've never heard that before, and I love it. I absolutely love
Experiment
it.
with it and just see if it makes a difference. So yeah, well,
Okay.
what else? Any other little tidbits for the month of August?
I'm trying to think. Well, we do have Venus is going to change signs in August. And if I remember correctly, it is going to leave the sign of Cancer, yeah, in late August, like the 26th of August. And it is going to move into the sign of Leo. And so people's love life is probably going to pick up by the second half of the month. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but if you're single, the first part of August may not be too exciting. But the second half, more people are around, more people are out and about. Venus really enjoys being in Leo. It's fun. You want to party, you want to see your friends, you want to, have somebody give you a good massage. You want to date, you want to be playful. So it's a good time for vacation. I'm going on a few days in the mountains, and I'm so
Right.
hoping it's cooler in the mountains. So yeah, so the second half, even though technically this doesn't really move in there until the 26th of August, which is at the very tail end, again, so many sensitive people pick this energy up a little bit earlier. So I'm backing
Mm.
it up like 10 days, you know. So you may start to notice this by the second half of August that, you know what, I need to get out of this house. I need to go someplace. Let's just go here. Let's just do this. So I really like the fact that Venus is going to move into Leo, and it is going to bring in some of that, you know, party time. Life is meant to be enjoyed, which right now for July and a lot of August, we may not necessarily be feeling every day. So it's coming. And one of the things when I was giving my talk in July that my guys were telling me, and I'm like, why am I supposed to do this in mid-year? I never do this. And they were like, people need to understand July and August so they can be prepared. And they
Yeah.
need to know September through December so they can be hopeful. When we're going through a tough time, we don't see the rainbow at the end. It just feels like it's never going to be better. Life sucks, the end. And so when you hear you or I saying, over here is where it gets better,
Mhm.
September through December, it's going to lighten up. We can be more hopeful about that. We can be more energetic about that.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing. I'm excited about that. And I'm looking forward to that. We've made it halfway through the summer.
Can you believe it? Isn't time speeding up so much? Like, I cannot believe how fast this year has been going. Like, we're heading into August. It's insane.
Like August.
Eighth
In
month.
August, I start thinking about Christmas and
Oh,
getting a jump on things and Christmas shopping. And usually, I don't know what it's like in Canada. You may be a little more rational about this than my country, but by September, they're putting out the Christmas
oh
decorations.
yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
know,
That's Canada as well.
it's like, let's get a jump on it. Screw Halloween and Thanksgiving. We're going straight to Christmas.
We try to hit the planners first, right? The planners are the ones that cash in because everything goes on sale and you get first dibs on everything. And then there's the people who leave it to the last day and they're, scrambling to take the leftovers. So yeah, a little bit of planning is good if you start early. Sure.
Yeah. We also have Venus in August in Cancer in a square aspect with the Saturn and Neptune in Aries. Now, I know you're not astrologers out there, so you don't know what that means, but I'm going to tell you a square aspect is one of conflict. It's not smooth flowing. It's like trying to make those gears mesh when they don't really mesh. So, square aspects are powerful because you can't ignore them. You can't put them off on somebody else. We have to deal. Now, Venus is not that bad to be in a square aspect. Venus is, like I said, it's the lesser beneficent. It's usually in a good mood. Venus wants everybody to get along. So this doesn't necessarily mean this is a bad thing. But as these come in and square each other, one of the things that I notice is you may be spending more money because Venus loves to spend money. It loves to upgrade. Let's get the luxury item. Oh no, let's get the filet mignon instead of the hamburger.
Yeah.
So you may find yourself buying things for the business. Oh, I need to upgrade a computer. Oh, I need a printer. There may be logical reasons for spending money, but you may be spending a little bit more. I'm not too concerned about Saturn and Venus, although there may be some romantic issues you have to work out.
Okay.
This may be where your husband goes, we can't afford it. And you go, we're getting a new couch. Not big stuff, but little things to work out because you want reality and expectations to come together. What can be a little bit of a problem sometimes is Neptune and Venus,
Hmm.
because Venus is the planet of love, it's the planet of our heart, it's the planet of our romantic relationships
Mhm.
and friends. And Neptune is the planet of illusion and denial and self sabotage.
Ooh.
So, as these come together,
Yep.
I will
Spell
tell
it
you
out.
what I tell every one of my clients: do not lend them money. I
Yeah.
don't care how much they say they're going to pay it back in 2 weeks. Do not let them move in with you after 3 dates. Do not give them codes to anything.
It's so
This is
funny.
where
I just had this exact conversation with a client this week.
the
So,
energy's coming in.
yeah, it is.
And our reality is not that grounded. That'll happen at the end of the month, but yeah, this is going to start coming in, and we want to be in love. We want the hearts and flowers and romantic moments, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you don't want to be the one paying for that.
Yeah.
This is where you're like, did you just have 16 glasses of wine? Oh, this is nothing. I can put away 25 glasses of wine. Red flag, folks.
Yeah. Totally.
This is where you have to pay a little bit more attention to those red flags because Neptune will just wipe them away. Oh, they were drunk. They didn't know what they were doing. They didn't mean to hit me. Oh, he's going to divorce his wife. Oh, it doesn't mean anything. This is where we do it to ourselves. That's why they call it self-sabotage.
Yeah.
And what's that phrase about when somebody shows you who they are, believe them?
Leave them the first time. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. So true.
So, but if you're in a good relationship that you know is a good relationship and nobody's asking you for money or trying to get your password to anything, this can be very romantic. It could be super romantic, very loving, grand gesture, surprises that melt your heart. This could be a very fun energy.
Nice.
Yeah. Just depends on what's going on in our life and how we are using it. How awake are we?
Yeah. 100%. Well, it sounds like a busy month. It's already, we're not even there yet. We're filming this. I don't even know what today's date
The
is.
24th, I think. It's the 24th or
So we
25th.
still have to, but it's
There you
like,
go.
feel that energy already. You can feel it all. Like the Lionsgate portal, I can already feel that sucker opening. So it's, yeah, I think it's going to be a powerful month that we have ahead of us. And especially if you know how to use the energies to your advantage and, stay away from fires that have nothing to do with you. This can be an amazing, amazing month to get ahead for downloads where things just click in and all of a sudden make sense. That's the way I look at it. So it
I
can be
love that. I love that. Yeah.
so.
So,
Well, thank you so much, Susan, for all of your wealth of knowledge. I love that you know your astrology because I don't know a lick of astrology. I know what Orion's belt looks like. That's and the Big Dipper. That's about it. That's all I know about astrology. But I love
you
it.
get there without the planets. Mhm.
Well, and it makes sense when you come together and you tell me what you see, and I tell you what I've remote viewed and sensed and picked up psychically. It's really neat how they totally collaborate together, and you know,
Truth is truth.
yes, absolutely, it is.
Yeah.
So thank you, my dear. I hope that you have a wonderful month and that Mercury retrograde can finally go to sleep for a while. And yeah, I would love to hear your questions or comments in the comment section. Let me know what you think about what we've said. And Susan, how can followers find you?
You can find me on my website, which is exploreastrology.com. If you want to get a link to hear the talk that I gave on July 6th about the next 6 months, let me know. Or you can check me out on my Facebook page, Susan Reynolds, or Explore Astrology with Susan Reynolds. And every day I post where the moon is, what it's doing, what you should expect.
Mhm.
So if you want to know what's going on with you and your sign personally for August, check out my page at my website.
She's very diligent about that. She posts every day like a rock star. You post it. So thank you for that wisdom. And I will say, I'm having my psychic awareness retreat where I teach. I take a pile of people and we do a bucket list trip where we go and experience all of the vortexes, all the sacred sites. We're out doing a different excursion every day. We learn in the morning, we meditate, we sit around the fire, tell ghost stories. We do everything. We sit up and have breakfast in our jammies together, eat pancakes together. So I just wanted to mention I have one spot left open. And the weirdest thing is, I've had this one spot left open now for about 6 weeks. And I'm like, oh, someone's on the fence, whoever you are that is on the fence, hurry up and make your decision because the group is waiting for you. And this group, I know them and they are amazing. They actually are the same group that's coming from my last retreat. They
Oh,
loved it so
wow.
much that they're coming back for this one. So there was only a few spots open for this October retreat to begin with. But you guys, I'm telling you, it's a bucket list trip.
Wow.
It'll change your life. I'm not just saying that to try and sell the spot. It really is life changing, eye opening. You'll go back different. Vortexes do that to you. So if you'd like more information on my retreats, my website is www.patriciamonna.com. And have a look. Read the synopsis. Read what we'll be doing. See if it speaks to you. If you love remote viewing and psychic development, you don't want to miss this. And it is my one and only retreat that I'm doing this year in Sedona. So join me. I know that whoever gets that one last spot, I got to give them a huge hug for just completing the energy. of the group. You know, I can't wait to meet them, whoever this last person is, but it's waiting for them.
Spirit is holding it for them.
Totally, totally. The universe is holding it for them. And it might even be that they haven't seen or known about it yet. And you know what I mean? Then they watch this and then they learn about it. I don't know, but it's waiting for you, whoever you are. So, okay, thank you so
All
much,
right.
Susan.
Well,
God
I'll
bless
see you
you.
next month. We'll
So,
see what happens in August, and next month we'll take a look at September.
absolutely. Mwah. Love you guys. Don't forget to subscribe and like the channel. It helps to grow it. God bless everybody.
Bye.
Bye for now.